Have you ever felt like your anxiety was uniquely intense? What if I told you your red hair could be a clue? Eastern medicine has this surprising perspective. So come on with me and let's dive in to uncover this connection. Hi, my name's Kim. I'm an Eastern medical provider and Taoist practitioner. Today, I want to share with you some information from classical Taoist theories on why your red hair may be a clue to your anxiety. You know who comes to mind when I think of the essence of red hair and fire people? Eric the Red, the Viking warrior who settled Greenland. So picture Eric the Red, this Viking warrior with his fiery red beard and his fiery red hair. He embodies the traits of a fire person, at least the legend does. He embodies endless or boundless energy. He has creativity and inspiration, and he has this uncanny ability to navigate through challenging situations. That is the essence of a fire person. Yet, it's not all good. Fire people have a fiery temperament that can explode in rage, and they can just as quickly forgive and forget. And that, unfortunately, he was not able to forgive and forget fast enough when he was in Iceland, and he was banished from Iceland for murder. From Iceland, he sails to Greenland, and he lives 3 years on Greenland by himself. He's banished for 3 years, and then he sails back. Here's the other unique thing about fire people is their ability to communicate. They love engaging with people, and they have this amazing ability to communicate emotions and personal exploits. And he was able to communicate this to people in Iceland. His inspiration, his boundless energy was able to get 35 ships to sail with him back to Greenland to settle new colonies. Okay, so that's the essence of a fire person. Is that all it takes to be a fire person? Red hair? Well, no, not usually, but it is a key indicator and a key marker. So you don't have to have red hair to be a fire person, but if you do have red hair, you're probably a fire person. There are all different levels of fire types. So let's say that Eric the Red is the ultimate fire type. You know, he's this bold warrior that is going to go run across the globe to uncharted territory and have to survive on his own for 3 years. That's pretty bold. Not every fire type has to be that bold. There's different levels of boldness. Yet, here's the thing. If you're a fire type, you are going to move forward boldly in your life into new and uncharted territory. So you're not going to let the anxiety and you're not going to let the fear stop you. And that is one of the most interesting things about fire people is they are willing to go into the unknown, even if it's fearful, even if it's anxiety driven. Now, there's another thing about the fire people is they have this flexibility. So they can easily change course if something's not working out. And that's probably pretty important if you're going into new and uncharted territory. So that level of flexibility gives them this unique ability to adapt to new situations. Now, what if you're saying that, well, that's neat. I have red hair and that doesn't sound like me. You might remember when that was you. And you can probably remember back to when you were a child and how happy and gregarious and how engaging with people you were. The fire kids are happy, vivacious. They're always active. They're always running around. They're always engaging with people, but they are happy and carefree. There's this inherent beauty of a child person, and you can probably Remember at one time when you were that person. And then probably life happens. And it feels different now. So why might fire people have more anxiety than everybody else? Well, let's go back to Eric the Red, the Viking warrior. Remember how active he was? He was sailing across the ocean. I think he did 4,000 miles in a matter of a year. So by himself in his little boat. And that seems like a lot of energy. So that kind of gives you this feel for how much energy a fire person has. If you have all this energy, if you have this boundless energy, you have to use it. You have to be able to express it. Otherwise, it gets pent up and it gets stuck inside of you. So think of our jobs today. Think of our society today. How many boundless energy jobs do we have? Not many, right? There's just not many. Most of our jobs have been automated, or computers and technology are taking over the physical aspects of it. There are not many physical jobs anymore. And that's a problem for fire people, because a lot of the jobs now are sitting at a desk or sitting behind a computer monitor, and there's no outlet for their excess energy. You know, I was talking to one fire person. He was like, I love my job that I have today. I said, really? Why is that? He goes, well, I walk like 10 miles a day and I get to talk to people all day long. The perfect fire person. Now, that's not a job that would work for me, but for a fire person, that is like the perfect job. We don't have many of those jobs today. So they get stuck behind these desks. And they have all this boundless energy that is suddenly trapped inside them. Some of these fire types have figured out ways to manage this. And maybe during their lunch hour, they go to the gym. Or maybe after work, they do a huge bike ride. They find some ways to express this energy. Yet a lot of fire types, maybe they haven't figured that out. And as that energy gets trapped inside of them, think about this with kids. Think about this with overactive kids. What happens when you try to make them sit down when they need to run out that energy? You get behavioral issues, right? Or you get anxiety, or you get depression. Whatever happens, you create behavioral and emotional and mental issues within the child that needs to run. And so for the fire types who have to go sit behind a desk every day, that's what happens for them, is that energy gets trapped inside. And just like the little kid who needs to run around, they start getting, all that energy starts getting botched up. It might blow off in some sort of behavioral thing or some sort of emotional thing. Anxiety is the most common one that Eastern medicine says you might experience if your heart channel, and the fire channel is a heart channel, if your heart channel gets blocked up. Okay, so now you know why your red hair might be a clue to your anxiety. And here's the deal. Your anxiety can be more than the average person. Yet, the key to letting go of your anxiety is activity. And you can probably do a lot of activity. That's one of the things that you can do to help yourself, is figure out some way to schedule in activity for you. And if you're with a partner, figure out some activity that the two of you can do together. Okay, so that's some thoughts from classical Taoist theories and Eastern medicine thought. Hopefully that gives you some ideas, if you're a redhead, of just some of the beauty of being you and some of the things that you can do to help bring back that beauty, especially if you've been feeling a lot of anxiety and you are in one of those traditional jobs that we have in society today. And, and this happened in school too, because you had to sit at that desk all the time. So, you know, realize that all of us are unique, you're unique, and that you have different needs. You're not one of those people who can sit behind that desk all day long. Okay, until next time, I will catch you on the other side.